Go ahead.
You showed up, Dan.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm Dan Cassidy, and I did the qualitative research for Captain Lawrence. My focus group is made up of college seniors ranging in the age of 21 to 25, and they're my folks. Summary of the focus group findings, all in all, they typically drink mainstream beers. They would be open to trying a micro brews such as Captain Lawrence. We're from Connecticut, so they haven't really heard of it. But when something new comes into play, they're pretty much open. A couple of concerns that came to mind were if they don't know too much about the beer, they might not be too comfortable spending extra about it. They kind of like to know what it is they're buying. And the focus group would feel more inclined to try the beer if it were accessible in like convenient locations such as a supermarket or a 7-Eleven. Making a special trip isn't really what they want to do. Continued, all but two said they would feel comfortable spending a little extra for quality instead of buying, $20 for a 30 rack of Bud Light. They would spend a little extra for, 12 pack of some decent quality, good tasting beer. And the beer tasting events only appeal to 2 members. When they want to drink beer, they want to be in a comfortable atmosphere with their friends, not necessarily a public environment. Quotes from the group, really sums up the presentation of the product. If they are going to spend extra, they would like to see in the bottle because, it doesn't really, I don't really see it this way, but they feel the bottle justifies the price. They wouldn't mind spending more on a 6-pack of quality beer on occasion. So those were pretty much the general quotes that were uniform throughout all participants. The first interview with Gary, this guy really pretty much goes with the flow, so he'll drink mainstream beers, but if his buddies are drinking micro brew, he'd be more than willing to drink it with them. He would like to do a beer tasting event if he went with a group of friends, so if we position it sort of like a social gathering, that would be more appealing to him. And, quote says it all, he's pretty much open to anything. Okay, the interview with Chris, he's sort of the opposite. He only drinks and likes micro brews, so this was sort of right up his alley. And something that I found interesting is that he appreciates the local touch. So if he knows a micro brew comes from a local town wherever he's at, if he's traveling on vacation or if he's wherever, that immediately sets off the green light and really wants to try that. And how we can input this in the advertising campaign, market the beer and tasting events as like sort of a social gathering, especially for college students. Make it like a comfortable setting, selling bottles, the presentation, says it all and sort of justifies the price for these guys. Make available in convenient locations, again, convenience store supermarkets, and sell the quality and taste because that's the main driver for why you pay extra for such a micro brew. That's it.
Thank you.
So, I'm Brittany Soriano.
Mark Scudery. So, the day the focus group was February 3rd. We took a lot of time to do it, and we were the instructors. Participants were 3 males, 3 females, so we had a little demographics for both sexes. These are the names of them, and you can see the age is good because they're legal to drink and they've had experience with it. So.
We also had we incorporated some of our members from our trip to Europe, which they also had a chance to try different beers from Europe, so they were able to use it in comparison.
We went to Palm Brewery, which is probably the best brewery in the world, and they have like some of the best beers, so they have good insight on what quality beer is. So the group stated how at this young age that they are always open to trying new styles of beer and love the idea of supporting the local beer. So they say it allows them to feel more connected to the product. If you know where it comes from and maybe you visited it once before, you could say while you're drinking it, I actually could appreciate this because I know what goes through and all the process that they have to work to make this quality beer. The group as well stated they would not mind paying more for a specialty beer and that they feel as if tasting and events held at the brewery would be a great way to promote the product, example, barbecues, bands, and festivals. A lot of fun. Summertime usually is the best time to do it, or fall as well. Maybe they have like line dancing or something.
Especially with the females, because a lot of females are not inclined to just drink beer. They're most likely drink wine or a type of liquor. A lot of girls that we spoke to, they were interested in it because it was something they didn't know. There's, a lot of them only hear of Bud Light, Budweiser, Corona, Heineken. So something that's different, something that's new, something that's, something that they don't know of, they're more inclined to try to give it a chance because they don't want to just knock it before they try it.
and this is a little bit more the males especially say that they feel the Captain Lawrence beers are more geared towards males because they are heavier styles for the most part, and that they said that they feel this would be difficult for Captain Lawrence to gain a female market, so maybe they'd have to invest in making a lighter beer that maybe flavored kind of style that females could kind of want to try and to drink when the males are trying the other one. And that they say that normally drink beers at bars and restaurants, so that they usually will have to what's on tap, so they also like the bartender's advice. So that's a huge aspect. If the bartender says Captain Lawrence, they're more likely to drink it. So.
And another thing that we found is that most of the females who do drink beer, they'll try it from somebody else. It's not something that they feel compelled to buy. So when we first introduced Captain Lawrence to them, it wasn't something that they were first inclined to buy, but they did want to try it. So that the three girls that I spoke to, they were very interested in a beer tasting event because they wanted to first try it before they buy it. So try before you buy type of beer.
So this is Anthony Casal, my cousin, and he stated that he loves the idea of drinking a local beer that he knows the story behind. So that's kind of what we were talking about before. Would visit the brewery and attend events and spread the word as well. So if you have a good experience at the brewery, had fun, he's more likely to tell people about it. So that's a great word of mouth re-advertising. Feels that the beer should focus on gaining bartender support, like we said, make it their beer of choice for the month, or this is our throughout 5 different bars in the area. Being local allows you to have pride with the product, and also, which was a great point, shouldn't the label have something to do with the captain? When you see, like, you think of Captain Morgan, or something else like a fish thing of Captain, you see like that fun cartoon character, so it kind of helps you relate to the product and remember it easier. So, and the price needs to be more competitive with other beers. Young adults don't have unlimited cash. So it needs to be maybe $1 or more per 6-pack, or a little bit more, but nothing too drastic, or else it's not going to sell.
The next one was Deanna. She was one of the girls who attended the trip with us. She stated that beer, as an enthusiast, when she drinks, she enjoys a lighter, smoother beer. She feels Captain Lawrence should promote beer towards females as well. So that's going back to what Mark said. In order to engage the female market, they need to have more of a lighter beer because they're not so inclined to try a beer. You would have to come down to their level. So I feel like, well, what we came from, what she said, she's like, she hates when I feel as if all beers are made only for men. So that's why we stress the fact that trying to come down to a female level as to making a lighter beer would be more engaging and would engage them more to be more inclined to drink beer, because not a lot of females, that's not their first drink of choice when they go to a bar, when they go to a restaurant, they're not going to think of getting a beer. Mostly men do. So if Captain Lawrence tried to have more of a female market, it would help engage them.
This is Ymir, 10th States here. He has not heard of Captain Lawrence Brewery before, and feels that word of mouth should not be the only way to reach customers, which is really good because maybe radio advertisement or in ads as well, which would really help out getting the name out there. And feels that by having a 6-pack of beer in a supermarket is a good idea, but only if the advertisement is strong enough for people to know it. If somebody walks into a supermarket and they see a 6-pack Captain Lawrence, never heard of it before, they're less inclined to buy that. College students will attend the brewery, but unless the price is competitive to other beers, they will not seek it out in the grocery store. They'll go get their free beer. Yeah, who's not going to pass for a free beer, but then they're not going to go to the grocery store and get it if it's expensive.
The next one is Rocco. He's also another member of the trip that we went to, and he said this is a great product, great taste, just needs to be a better label. So we had mentioned that we were stressing their whole aspect of what the bottles will look like, their logo. Sometimes when you go to a store to buy a beer, or if you go to a restaurant, they usually want to see what it looks like, to see if it catches their eye, catches their attention. For example, when we went to the Palm Brewery, their whole model as to how they promoted their beer was through horses, and the fact that their brewery was based on a horse farm, and it was attractive because they had a story behind it, there was meaning behind it. With Captain Lawrence, their logo is not so appealing so that it would attract members to try and try their beer. He loved the idea of it becoming a beer that he can buy in a supermarket. So if you would pass it up if it was with the logo it had now, because it's not attractive. It's not something that is eye-catching. So.
Okay, then the next one is You can take this one.
This is Daniela Rosari. She only drinks beer at social events in the summertime, during BBQs and beach parties. That's when most people drink beer the most, during social events. I know for Townhouse Day, that's something that's really something big. As well as Deanna, she also prefers a lighter beer. Most women, you know, they are calorie conscientious and gaining weight conscientious. So they don't feel like a heavier beer where it would be, you know, would not help them, but get them fatter or make them gain more weight is something that they want. So if the bartender says it's good, then they'll try it. So to sum it up, how we can use this information, we would make sure that the price for the six-pack is close to or below other competitors in the supermarket. You don't want to have a beer where it's so expensive it's not within its market, especially, you know, if you're targeting college students or you're targeting, you know, people around our age. The economy that we have, not a lot of people have the money to spend on beer so frequently. So it is important to reach that market.